Hello, FlossTube Stitchers. This is Shelly at Just Stitching Inc. in Strongsville, Ohio. Today I'm sitting in front of our new section. There's a card rack behind me, and then there's a couple freestanding racks and a spin rack over there. This tends to be the smaller size charts, and then on the spin rack are the full size charts. I'm at the very front of our shop, and of course I had to turn off the overhead light because that was glaring. So I'm depending on the natural light from outside. So I hope this is bright enough for everyone to see. We'll try it this time. I didn't get a whole lot of time to stitch last week. We were trying to take advantage of some fun summer activities and also had some things going on at the shop. So last Sunday evening, we went to the new Barleycorn concert. It was a free concert in our community, and there's a nice grassy area with a stage. And this was a duo that are both from Ireland, and they play a variety of string instruments and also the whistle and the bodhrán, which is a type of drum. And that was really fun. We took our dog, Holly, with us, who some of you know is fairly quiet. She's a rescue. We got her about 6 months ago, and she didn't talk at all. She didn't bark at anything, but boy, was she interested in the handsome golden doodle that was sitting a little ways away from us. So she watched his every move. So that was interesting for us to see her in that situation. Then on Monday night, my brother and I helped my dad do something, and he always likes to take us out to dinner to thank us afterwards. So we went to dinner unexpectedly, and so that kind of wiped out half of that evening as far as stitching goes. Then on Tuesday night, we had a pizza and stitch at the shop, and as you can imagine, with a lot of people here, I don't always get a chance to stitch during those shop events, because I'm busy cutting fabric, waiting on customers, taking orders, that sort of thing. Then on Friday evening, my husband and I went to the Medina County Fair, and we watched another free concert. We're all about the free. It was called the Diamond Project, and it was a Neil Diamond tribute band, so that was really fun. And we petted some goats. We always pay attention to a different animal at every fair that we go to. And then, of course, I got to have my favorite treat, my once-a-year deep-fried Oreos. And if you think that sounds disgusting, then you and I cannot be friends. Just saying. Then on Saturday night, I made another trip to the Apple store. A couple weeks ago, I was at the Apple store 3 times, had a phone conversation with an Apple associate, and had 2 online chats. Not really Apple problems, but Apple solutions. So anyway, we went to the Apple store and fixed my storage issues. Yeah, I needed another iPad, a new one. I just got one in December. And had I known that I was going to be doing these videos, which really suck up a lot of space, I probably would have gotten the bigger one, but at the time it seemed like such a jump in price. So anyway, I had to make the hard decision to jump up to the next size iPad. And right now it is sitting very precariously on top of a box, held up by another box, which is sort of how I was doing it before, but my new case, which has a full-size keyboard on it, which a friend had told me about recently, and so I thought to ask for it, but it clamps to the iPad completely upside down backwards from how my previous one was. So I'm going to need to rethink how I set this up. Obviously, if it doesn't fall this time, then I'm lucky and this might work, but I probably need to think of a more permanent solution. So anyway, didn't get a whole lot of stitching done. But again, I'm still working on my bee from Rovaris. And I finished kind of this side of it, put the honeycomb in those letters and did some other honeycomb over here. So that's how far I've gotten. There, maybe you can see the sparkly fabric. And I probably could have finished this week too, but I forgot to take it home on the only night that I had a lot of time to stitch. No, I took it home. I left the chart here on the table, so I couldn't stitch on it. So what did I do? I just reached into my Stitch Mania bag and pulled out Dog Lips from Amy Brecken, and I worked on that. No harm done. So I was working on, let's see, I think I finished his nose, and then I worked on the dog bone at the bottom. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but right here to the side of the S is this little dot. At first, I thought it was where I had opened up the hole of the linen with my needle. But on second or third glance, I discovered it's actually a flaw in the fabric. It's a tiny little beige thread that's darker than all the other threads around it. And this is hand-dyed fabric, but I assume that they started with a white or off-white, but there's a little flaw in the fabric. Now, had I looked at this more carefully in broad daylight before I started stitching, I may have turned it over and worked on the other side. Or I might have turned it upside down and figured out a way for that to be covered by some of the stitching. Lesson learned: when you're starting a project, take a careful look at both sides of the fabric and determine if everything is good. If you do see a little flaw, or it could just be one of those natural slubs in the linen, but if you see something like that, turn it the opposite way or turn it backwards and see if it's less noticeable, or if you can manipulate the pattern to be able to hide that with some stitching. Lesson learned. Alrighty, so that was my stitching. Before I lose the picture on my phone, this has to do with new. I wanted to show you a class. Let's see, I'll make sure I get it so you don't reflect anything from outside. Okay, hopefully that's good for you. This is a needlework accessories class called Winter Harmony Sewing Basket by Simona of Mani Dodana Designs. And she's from Italy, and she's going to be at the Galleria. Oh, I just lost what it was called. The Galleria in St. Charles, Missouri in September. And so she arranged to stitch at a few shops in the surrounding states before she goes back to Italy. And she's going to be here on Saturday, September 28th. I'm not sure if it's morning or afternoon. The class is going to be $95. It includes all materials. And if you've ever stitched any of her patterns before, she is very generous with her directions, step-by-step instructions for finishing with photos. And so I think that you're going to be pleased with the information that she gives in this class. There is no pre-stitching required. So we'll just be stitching that day and she'll go over all the finishing instructions. You can check out my Facebook event under Just Stitching Inc. if you want more information or to get a better look at the project. And the Christmas scissors are from Dinky Dyes, and I am taking pre-orders on those. So that's the class. I think I gave the pertinent information about that, so I can put that aside. I see that the sun is changing, so I'm hoping that I can get through this in one take and not have to worry about the lighting too much. So I'm going to show you mostly books today, but I wanted to start off by a few accessories. Remember the emery boards that I showed you a few weeks ago? Here are the matching tape measures. There we go. The same 3 flowers that were on the emery boards. So those are available. And then I ordered the matching scissors, but unfortunately the scissors that came weren't exactly like the photo. They're still really cute. They're just not exactly this. They don't match the other design perfectly. Like that would make a nice combo. I always include a little scissor condom for you so that they don't poke your stitching or poke a hole in your stitch bag or poke you. So I always include that when people buy scissors. All right, I'm going to start off by a designer that's new to us. Those of you who are quilters may have already heard of her, but I have some charts and They are based on, I believe they're all based on quilt designs by Lori Holt of Bee in a Bonnet. And they're put into cross stitch by Kimberly Jolly and her team at the Fat Quarter Shop. Start with the little ones. These are stitch cards. So there's an individual card for each of those 4 designs. So those are really cute, quick projects, car projects. Eat, sleep, stitch, repeat. This would be so fun to do in different colors. You might want to buy like stitching or sewing fabric, something with spools or scissors or something on it, and then change the colors to match the fabric. That would be fun. Farm Girl Fall. Happy Farm Girl. Quilter's Cottage. So She Did. And Vintage Christmas Sampler. Those would be really great as ornaments too, or even a little stand-up easel, or you could do a stand-up box and you could put a different design on each side of it so that anyone passing by a table could see different designs on the other sides. And then I'm kind of sort of going, not totally in alphabetical order, but Annie B's Folk Art, Farm Sweet Farm, Widow's Walk. This is Country Cottage Needleworks My Country. Erica Michaels, Stingy Jack and Friends. Oh, you could use such fun fabrics. Then we have the 3 more in the Scary Apothecary series. Skeleton Polish, Snail Slime, and Spider Legs. Okay, were you paying attention? Let's look at those again, because you're going to get one of these as a giveaway for this week. So you can pick your favorite one, but I'm also going to give you a piece of fabric to go with it. It calls for 32 Winter Wishes Belfast from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie, and I have it in the 32. I also have it in 28 Lugana. So if you are an Aida stitcher or an even weave lover, then ask for the Lugana. And if you don't say anything, and you win, I'll just automatically give you the linen, okay? So that's that. Also from Hands On Design, Safe Harbor. Give with My Heart. From Heart and Hand. Needle and thread that fits on the Heartwear tart. We Won Farmhouse Bird. Patchwork Sheep. The latest Square Dance. Heartstring Samplery had Where Liberty Dwells, Housewife. The Choose Your Own Motto sampler. So the floral border is going to be the same no matter what you stitch, but there's many different verses that you can use. Little House Needleworks had Farm Life recently. Manny Dodonna's newest one is Halloween in the Air Pillows. Nikki's Creations, Liberty Girl, Summer Scissors Sampler, Monthly Seasons 3. Okay, an All-American Truck from Homespun Elegance. Plum Street Sampler re-released the Beekeeper, which previously had been a club piece, I think. This is also a re-release in chart form rather than kit. And the last one from Plum Street is Tired Trio from their animal series. Have you noticed that they're all forms of measurement? Clever, clever titles. Tiny Modernist has a new Sal, Sleepy Hollow. And you could either do it as a picture, like this. You could do a long picture all the way across. It might be awkward to frame. Or you could do it as a drum. And she shows the drums stacked on top of each other. With Thy Needle, Holiday Hoopla, Halloween. Gone, I'll show it this way. Gone Batty. Pickety Pickety. Let's see, let me show this the right way. This is a reproduction. L. Genders, 1875. Then, let's see, I'm going to save these for next time. And I'm going to show you, oops, did I just move that? Imaginating Let's Be Magical. Shepherd's Bush has Bee Trifles. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to stitch these, but I have to wait till after I finish my Stitch Mania projects. And Sue Hillis, High Tides and Good Vibes. So that's kind of what's new, the charts that have come out lately. The giveaway winner from last week that's getting the silk, I forgot to bring it to the camera, but she's getting the two different companies of silk, is Louisa Sharp. And she said, let me get my notes so I can read this right. She is working on, she's working with Mrs. Sita Silks. And the woman's name who owns the Etsy shop is Raquel Missus, M-I-S-S-U-S. That's why she has the shop name that she does. She's from Madrid, Spain. She also has needle minders and scissor fobs. And I wrote down some of the fun topics, themes that she has going on as far as the fobs and needle minders go. Star Wars, Game of Thrones, Doctor Who, Pirates of the Caribbean, Alice in Wonderland, Wizard of Oz, and The Nightmare Before Christmas. Aren't those fun? So check out Mrs. Sedas, M-I-S-S-U-S, S-E-D-A-S. Is that right? Can I read my own writing? On Etsy. Okay, thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great week. Bye.